Hello, Happiness Abounder, and welcome back. So we're continuing our discussion all about what to do in our actual journals. Last week I made the case for journaling, but if you're kind of like, what? Great, I want to journal. What do I journal about? Then this is the week for you. So we spoke about emotional expression yesterday, which is fantastic. But if you're looking for that next level of journaling, you're like, hey, I have written in my journal my emotions, these experiences, and now I want to kind of go to that next level deep. Here you go. So I do need to give you a little bit of a disclaimer that this is a little on the woo side. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know that I do practical steps, applications, tips, but sometimes there's a little bit of woo mixed in there, and that's what this episode has. So be forewarned, stay tuned, and let's dive in. So, what is this that's so woo? One of the things that I think you can do, one of the best things I think you can do with your journal is to write letters. Now, if you are an extra long time listener of the podcast, you know that I did a theme week in last June, I think, all about writing letters. 5 types of letters you can write to change your life. Well, I'm continuing that here by saying there's a few letters you could write in your journal that will be incredibly beneficial for you. And today I want to talk about writing a letter to your body. Now, before you tune out, you're like, yeah, I've heard about that before. This is where the woo comes in a little bit. What you need to do is write a letter to your body and then write a letter from your body back. That's usually a step that people miss, and it is one of the most crucial steps because communication is 2 ways. So if we're writing a letter to our body to get to know ourselves better, to understand our body better, then we should open that up for a 2-way communication back. Told you, a little woo, but stick with me. So let's start top to bottom, okay? So writing a letter to your body usually goes, "Dear body," and then you write whatever comes to mind. You can write that you're angry. You can write that you're pleased with how your body's behaving. You can write that you're sorry you don't feed it well enough. You can write that one time where we won that race was a highlight of our relationship. You can write so many and anything to your body. The important part is not to hold back. So if you are angry at your body, maybe you suffer from chronic illness or pain, maybe there's been some rapid weight gain, whatever it is, if you are angry at your body, express it. Because the thing here is that if you're mad at your body and you're like, man, I've been gaining all this weight, what is wrong, blah, 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 and then it comes to writing this letter to your body and you're like, no, everything's fine, like, I really appreciate you, and it's very passive and passive aggressive, then this exercise of expression won't work. This exercise in communication won't work. So get it all out there, right? Put it all on the line in this letter to your body. After you've put it all out on the line, then write love, thanks, sincerely, whatever salutation, but the opposite of that, whatever the leaving remark you want to say. It can be love, it could be thanks, it can be cheers, right? Whatever you think it should be, then your name. Then immediately following, it's an important step of this, immediately following. Do not wait a day, do not wait an hour, do it immediately after you've written the letter to your body. Top of the page, say, "Dear," your name, so in my case, "Dear Taylor," and then write everything that comes to your mind as though it's from your body. After the end of everything coming to your mind, write love, your body. Now, again, I know it sounds woo, but give it a shot because it is really a really cool experience. I've been in entire rooms where people have done this, and a few people have been brave enough to read out loud their letter to and their letter from their body. And it runs the gamut. It runs the gamut of miscarriages. It runs the gamut of chronic pain, of cancer, and these individuals writing to their body and saying, you know, how much more can we take? This is nuts, and da 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 da. And their body writing back and being like, I'm always here for you. I'm sorry these things have happened. I'm trying my best. And opening up that line of communication, and also, dare I say, that line of understanding. Now, again, I know it's a little out there, it's a little woo, but give it a shot. I can share my experience. When I did it, I didn't really pay that much, when I did it the first time, I should say. I didn't really feel a lot of anger towards my body or anything like that. So I just kind of like, this is awesome. Like, I appreciate you being here. And I have this mindset that my body is my best friend, because my body has been with me literally through everything and has always taken care of me, whether I know it or not, and is always there for me. So my body is my best friend. And as I wrote this letter about being my best friend, I got a letter back, and my letter back said my body agreed and would always be there for me and would do whatever I needed it to do for as long as it could. And it was this really cool experience. And I should warn you, you will probably cry if you've never done this before. But it's a great way to utilize your journal and keep record of these letters to and from your body. Because just like I think that my body is my best friend, your body is probably your best friend. You may be mad at it at times, but you're kind of stuck with it. And so why not open up that communication? Why not express how you feel and open up that two-way back to have that deep connection? Now, this is a little bit of an intuitive work, which is why it goes to woo-woo, because you need to like listen and say, you know, Dear Taylor, and write as though it's coming from your body. But don't hold back on that either. If something comes to your mind, write it down. And you may be surprised how things turn out. Now, but here's the thing. For a lot of people, this is a one and done deal. I recommend using your journal to write letters to and from your body pretty regularly. I would say once a week minimum. Because again, this is communication. This is ongoing relationship building. And who better to build a relationship with than your body, right? So this is something to do in your journal fairly regularly to build that connection, that two-way communication, and to utilize the benefits of journaling, right? You're getting all these emotions out about your body that maybe you wouldn't say otherwise, right? You wouldn't necessarily say it to somebody else, and maybe you wouldn't write it otherwise either, because there's a little bit of that like shame and I should love my body no matter what, even though I'm mad at it. And yeah, you can love your body, but you need to express those emotions of anger and be willing to have that communication back and forth and create, fix, and maintain and build that relationship between you and your body. So I'm going to leave it with that today because I feel like I might have wooed out on you a little bit, but I want to encourage you to really try this method in your journal. It is so impactful and so earth-shattering, especially if you have mindsets about your body that you may or may not want to change. We all have mindsets about our body, right? We all have thoughts about our body and the way it should be or it shouldn't be. And this is a great way to open up those lines of communication and really build that relationship with yourself, which journaling is also all about, right? So it's a great way to utilize your journal. So like I said, I'm going to leave you with that today. If this episode resonated with you, or if you're like, wow, Taylor, you went off on the woo side a little too far today, I want to hear from you. Let me know at happinessabound.com, Happiness Abound blog on Facebook, or happiness_abound on Instagram. And if you liked this episode and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm totally going to try this, you try it and you love it, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or on Facebook. It really helps other people find the show and expand our community of happiness abounders. So that said, have a wonderful day. Try writing a letter to your body. Let me know how it goes. And above everything else, remember, you are capable of happiness abound.